What's up? Steinfox here. Just doing a quick video recap of all that has happened, all that is talked about on the Third Eye podcast, where I was guest last Wednesday, and a bit of Thursday for me, since we went a full 2 hours. That's 2 hours of recording. That is, we talked about, or we talked for like 15 minutes before and after too. Let's get that out of the shot. Oh, that's better. Whatever. I gotta say, I was nervous as hell. I was nervous as hell going into it. I never did a podcast before. I never was a guest on a podcast before. And I got thrown into the deep end right away. You know, it's like we started talking. Oh, let me just close some stuff so that doesn't distract me, because everyone who knows me knows that I get easily distracted. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like we just started talking 15 minutes before we started recording, you know, just kind of introducing ourselves to each other. And then we started recording, and boy, I gotta say, the nerves hit. I was stuttering, I was nervous, my brain wasn't working. But it was a good podcast. It definitely was a good podcast. Ghost, the Falcon Ghost, he's a good host. He knows how to make you comfortable. He knows what he's talking about, and he has so many interesting side tracks he takes, and so many interesting follow-up questions, like things you don't even you don't even think about, that connections that you don't even realize might be there. You know, we were talking about Tartaria, and there's so much to it, so many connections, so many theories, and he heard stuff from other podcasts about it, and you know, was asking me about it, like, you know, what's your opinion on that? And yeah, stuff that I haven't even heard before, but that, you know, when I thought of it, when I mulled it over in my head, I was like, you know what, that might just be possible. That makes sense if that were the case. Towards the end, we were also talking a bit about the Vikings, the Norsemen, the older folk, the older people of Europe, at least, and how that may be connected to Tartaria, because there are definitely commonalities. There are definitely things they have in common. And who knows, since, you know, Tartaria is spends over such a vast amount of time. You know, if we're just talking about the kingdom, or the empire, like the actual kingdom of Tartaria, and then, you know, talk about the Tartarian Empire, and, you know, all the stuff that comes with that. Like, we're talking hundreds of years, you know, from the early Middle Ages till the freaking Renaissance, at least, or 1800s, maybe even. So, you know, a lot happens in those couple hundred years. And, you know, he asked me, you know, like, might those people, the Norsemen, the Vikings, who we know traveled so incredibly far, like, they were the first ones to the first Europeans, I should say, to land on the American continent. They went as far south as Turkey and Syria, and I believe that a couple months ago I posted that in my tribe, that they even found Viking artifacts in freaking Israel. So he asked me, could they have come into contact with Tartarians, you know, with people from Tartaria, if it's just the kingdom or those people or whatever. I never made that connection. I never did. But, you know, that's why it's so fun, so fucking fun to talk about certain subjects, to talk about subjects like that with someone who has a lot of knowledge too, and who comes up with those kind of questions. It's been a lot of fun. I want to thank Falcon Ghost. I really want to thank him for having me on, as a fan of the show at first, and now I'm gonna be a returning guest. I'm still waiting for the invite link, but I will be on Talk at the Tavern tonight. That is at, I believe they start like 1:30 a.m. my time, so that would be, I think, later in the evening Eastern Standard Time. It's 6, so I would say 6. I believe like 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We should start recording that. Like I said, I'm still waiting on the invite link. Send him a message. Ghost, like, dude, hit me up. He invited me right away. Like after the show, he was like, "Hey, like, why don't you come on Talk with the Talk at the Tavern?" We're doing that with multiple podcasters, multiple guests. You know, I'm sure they'd love to pick your brain, because from what I heard, you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of knowledge to spread. So yeah, it's been a wild ride from last week to this week. You know, last week issues with a good friend, a dear friend of my fiance and me, I should say, but she's truly her soul sister. My grandmother's funeral, and then this week podcast, birthday yesterday, 30 years old, happy birthday me. And then today, another podcast. It's a wild freaking ride, but I guess that's just life. Life is a wild ride, or as my parents described it in a birthday card they gave me with a present in it. It's life is a bumpy ride, but the bumpy rides are the most fun, and that they're challenging. That's one thing that's for sure. You know, those bumpy rides, you better hold on, because if you fall off, it's a long way there. It's a long way till the end. It's a long way back. So better hold on, strap in, prepare yourself. But it's fun, you know, it's an adventure. And man, I love doing the podcast. I know I keep saying it, but I loved it. I want to do it more often. So I do hope that the Talk at the Tavern, that I can connect with other podcasters, and that I can come on their show and just talk about things, or just shoot the shit or whatever, because, you know, I don't know stuff just about Tartaria. I mean, I'm a Norse pagan, Germanic pagan, so, you know, I know a lot about that, and I've been, you know, it's been a big part of my life ever since I was, I want to say, like 20 years old, when I started getting into paganism. And then at 22, so I'm still semi-new to the path. Well, early 20s, I was just like, you know what, this is who I am. It's what I am. It's what I believe. It's what I feel most connected with. So, here we are, 8, 9 years later, and I got my own tribe. I got my own people. I'm connecting with so many other people. I'm diving into so many other topics and subjects and whatever. Lately, going back to the more occult side of life, the more magic side of the occult. Good magic, bad magic. I'm just overall magic. I know I have to be careful with that because when I first awoke to this world as it truly is, man, I fell down the rabbit hole hard, and I got fucking lost in it. I got lost in it because my whole worldview, I should say, was shattered. Just fucking shattered, and I was so lost. But, I've grown. I've grown mentally, I've grown spiritually. I know what to look out for now. It's still a work in progress. I am still a work in progress. I'm only 30 years old, so, still young-ish. I'm young. Let's keep it at, I'm young. Sorry, big breakfast. So I still have a lot more time on this planet. I still have a lot more things to do, a lot more topics to look into. But yeah, man, I loved it. It was a full 2 hours, 2.5, with 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after the recording. So we started recording at we started talking at 10 p.m. my time, and we said goodbye, or see you later, I guess, to each other at oh boy, 1:45, 1:15. No. Yeah, no, that might actually be correct. It was 2.5 hours, so 10. Yeah, let's say 1:30, 1:45 a.m. my time. And it's tiring. It's tiring talking for 2 hours. It really is. But I had so much fun, and I am looking forward to the next time I can come on the podcast, and I'm waiting on the talk at the tavern at the Third Eye podcast. Meet a lot of new people, meet a lot of new podcasters, and make some connections, get some new knowledge, spread some knowledge. This is fun. I can definitely see why people do this. It's fun. Yeah. So I'm gonna plug some things real quick. First of all, the Third Eye podcast. You can find them on several different platforms, but all of them will be posted in the Telegram group, which is t.me/mythirdpod. No, My Third Eye Pod, t.me/mythirdeyepod. Join my tribe. We're all a bunch of heathens, yeah. Bunch of heathens, bunch of pagans. We got some witches. We got 1 or 2 Hindus, and just overall spiritually inclined and interested folk, which is the tribe of the Greyhorn Pagans, which is t.me/greyhornpagans. You can find me on Minds. It's minds.com/SteinFox. t.me/SteinFox. It's my Telegram. So, hit me up. Be on the lookout for the podcast. Join the tribe. And, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, fire it up, repost. Just whatever. Get this out there, because I'd love to connect with multiple people. I'd love to connect with more podcasters who are doing these kind of things, these kinds of topics. So thank you again to Ghost. Thank you again for having me on your Third Eye podcast. And until next time, Stein Fox out. Thank you. See y'all.